about anxiety and how meditation is one tool in the toolbox that can help on our journey with anxiety. But as I found myself, sometimes you may need other tools as well as meditation to help with something that is actually a really hard mental health issue to tackle. I know when I was going through anxiety myself, I really benefited from talk therapy. I had a fabulous therapist that helped me to put things into perspective. And the other thing that really helped was spending time in nature. As I've said with the book here, Beloved, that was a really great way for me to be able to find space to understand myself and understand the process that I was actually going through at that time, which was leading me to feeling very anxious. So both those things, and of course all through that I had meditation as my backstop, and that has always been an amazing tool in my toolbox to help make me feel more centered and grounded. But sometimes when we're going through acute times when things are really tough, we need another couple of tools as well. I can so recommend therapy with the right person. It can really get you to right to the heart of matters that are probably the reasons for our mental health anguish. And addressing those is really, really important, and it helps us to be able to live more balanced emotional lives and to understand our issues a little bit more. As I said, the other thing is spending time in nature, which in itself was one of the 3 pillars. So it was spending time in nature, therapy and meditation were really the things that helped me to come out of that way of thinking and to be able to address old issues that were actually playing out and taking me into places that I didn't want to be at that time. So it was like I had to unravel quite a bit of stuff so that I could actually be with myself and be centered and grounded in myself enough to be able to start my life anew in some ways. And the funny thing is that, you know, as I was saying to Aisha today, people don't realize that you've changed so much. You know on a deep level that you're doing this work and you're changing, but the world doesn't really notice it. Except for the fact that, you know, things seem a bit easier and maybe a little bit more easy to be around, but the inner journey is something that's quite private, and it's something that is so important. So as you know, with all the things that I do, I really think it's the most important thing to be able to look within and to understand ourselves so that we can actually bring more compassion, firstly to ourselves and to the parts of ourselves that we've rejected, and secondly out to the world. Because when we have accepted ourselves and all our faults, especially all our faults as well, and all the things that aren't good about ourselves, then we can actually start to be compassionate to the world and all the things in the world that aren't so good, because we've actually seen those things in ourselves and we've recognized them for the wrong understandings or the ignorance or whatever it is. We've understood them in ourselves and we've given ourselves a break, so we can actually bring compassion to the world and actually see problems in different ways instead of reacting to them so quickly. So anyway, let's do a little meditation today. If you're feeling anxious, it might give you a bit of a reprieve, and it's always going to be something that you have in your toolbox that you can actually use when you're feeling really worried, full of doubt, full of anxiety, just to come back to ourselves a little bit, to actually ground ourselves. So let's see how we can go here. When we're anxious, our breathing is often very shallow, and we often feel a lot of tension in our stomach area as well. So that's why it's good when we meditate, we can actually breathe right deep into our stomach area so that we can actually give ourselves the nourishment we need there, so it's not so constricted and feeling full of tension. So let's take a deep breath in through the nose, right down deep into our belly. Hold it there and release out through the nose. Another deep breath in through the nose. And release. Last one, big deep breath into the nose. Hold it. Oftentimes when we're feeling anxious, our brain is running ahead into the future. And it's not able to be comforted by, or not able to be part of our bodies. So it's like we're moving ahead of ourselves and not present inside our own bodies. So let's try and look at that today. Let's try and bring our awareness back to our bodies. Let's feel our sit bones sitting on the ground today, or on the chair. Let's feel our toes and wiggle them. Let's move our head from side to side and feel that movement. Feel all those muscles. Put our head back. Feel the internal processes that are helping us to do that. Let's keep bringing our awareness gently to the breath. And let our lovely little busy minds just concentrate on the sound of that breath. Nothing else matters right now but the sound of that breath. And we feel ourselves racing away and starting to think again. Don't worry, it's okay. Just keep bringing your awareness back to the breath. And almost follow the breath into the body. So listen to it as it goes through your nose. And then feel it as it enters your body. And then feel it again as it leaves your body. Because the more we can concentrate on these things that actually are, the less we're going to let our mind run away on us to places that it doesn't need to go. Next time we bring our breath in deep, let's take a deep breath in. And then release. Next time we breathe in, let's just also visualize that breath going right into the ground, and visualize roots coming up from the bottom of our sit bones right into the ground, deep into the ground, rooting us at in this space here, on this earth, right at this time. So take a deep breath in now. Visualize those roots going right down into the earth. Rooting us in this human body, this beautiful little flawed, fabulous human body that we've got. We're okay here. We're grounded. And we're safe. Okay, so let's take a deep breath into the nose. Hold it and release. And when you release, visualize those roots again. And feel the whole of your human body, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. How does it feel to be in this body today? Take notice of any pains or any discomfort. Just know that everything has its place. One last deep breath in through the nose. Hold it. And release. And last one, deep breath in through the nose. And release with a big sigh. Wiggle your fingers and toes now. When you feel ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you so much for staying with me on that journey, you guys. I'm hoping that you're feeling more grounded after that and more present in your bodies, and that you can walk away from this video today feeling more present with yourself, more living in the moment. So yeah, it's not easy, and I know that it takes a lot of work to balance our mental health and to have awareness of ourselves, because it's a scary process sometimes. So I'm hoping that this can actually just be a little tool in your toolbox that you can come back to when you might need a little bit of help to feel more grounded and balanced. So yeah, keep in touch with me. Let me know how you found it and what your journey's been. I'd love to hear. And we're just about to do another video today about spending time in nature, which I mentioned at the start of the video, and about how that can also help with be one of the pillars of our mental health journey. So tune in for that, and I look forward to seeing you all next time. Thank you, and try and meditate. Try and keep meditating if you can. It is one thing that can help. Okay, thank you. Bye.